I talk about silos, you know what I'm talking about. The education silo versus the human services silo, the labor silo versus the environmental silo, labor versus business, public sector versus private sector, rural versus urban. I could go on and on. But we've got to break down those silos. I know from my years as a teacher and as a contract negotiator that you can only move forward when you break down that way of thinking. When you can sit down with the other side with respect and find the deep common ground that's there. It's always there. You have to find it. It takes boldness. It means taking risks to do that, to sit down. It takes creative, out-of-the-box thinking, but it can happen. I've helped to make it happen, and it needs to happen because there is so much for us to do in this state. We've got to invest in the future. We must educate workers for new jobs and new technologies, and they must be good family wage jobs. We must stop paying lip service to the K-12 quality education model. Yeah, we believe in it, we love it, we think we should have it. We've got to fund it fully. And we've got to do the same for community colleges and universities. We must refuse to be a state that spends more on prisons than it does on colleges and universities. Think about that. We must allow Oregonian children and adults to be able to move seamlessly from pre-K all the way through lifelong learning. We must make sure that all Oregonians have access to high-quality, affordable health care. We cannot afford to continue the way we are. We can't just hang our heads over the failure of Measure 50. That was a blow for me, the loss of Measure 50 last week. But with the loss of Measure 50, what that needs to do is fill us with more commitment to make sure that the legislature gives us fully comprehensive health care reform. We cannot allow, and I will not allow, after I'm elected and I'm down there, I will not allow this legislature to go home without comprehensive health care. We must create a revenue system that can use the good years to carry us through the lean years. This will mean building up the rainy day fund, permanently ending the corporate kicker, raising the corporate minimum, closing tax loopholes that are really nothing but boondoggles for special interests, and restoring the balance between the taxes paid by individuals and the taxes paid by corporations. We must do that, and if we do that, we'll have the funding that we need. We must commit ourselves to sustainability, energy independence, and good jobs. This past legislature made some promises regarding energy independence. We need to make sure that those promises are kept and that they lead to success. At the same time, we must make sure that no program is created that does not lead to good family wage jobs for working Oregonians. And we need to make sure that they have access to the necessary training to be successful in those new jobs. We must continue to advance human rights, choice, equity, family-friendly workplaces, civil rights, and labor rights. We must treat immigrants and people of color with respect and belief in their potential. We must allow seniors to live their lives free of fear and with dignity, putting Oregon back in the forefront of elder care, lifelong learning, and in the involvement of seniors in civic affairs.